completely lose track of time and realize it's already 2:30. I took my time doing the what's it called? Whatever the black hat mission is today. I forgot the name of it. That molded black magic. I took way too long doing that because I was switching loadouts constantly and trying to decide which weapons to use. Oh, whoops. Yeah, and then I had to set this up while being chased around by these things because I was already like mostly done with this floor. I didn't feel like restarting. So yeah, we're just starting here in a mission with no spookettes. Oh yeah, and I have to make a Venom Veiler tomorrow, which is great. Well, I mean today actually, but yeah, or tomorrow. Which is just gonna take a while. What? Okay. You know what? Not gonna question it. I'm not sure what happened there, but I got through anyways. Is this even working? Hold on. I would assume it is. Yeah, it seems to. I forgot. I forgot that was the thumbnail. Olo can only be seen by pointing a laser into someone's eyes, so 5 volunteers were able to view the color at the risk of their eyesight. It was. I still don't. I don't understand. I would assume everything's working. Why did you make that the thumbnail? Because I thought it was really funny. You want to voice chat? Because nobody else is on. Five volunteers for it just doesn't make any sense, but it's like really funny. That's fine. I will go into the snipe garden. Hold on.
Heyo.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. I'm trying to get a bit quirky.
Yeah, quirky. Anyways, I have a permanent eye damage because I wanted to see Olo.
You get the right laser?
I don't think so.
Well, tough luck then.
So, how are you doing?
I'm hungry.
Sweet, you want a bowl of cereal?
Not right now. I'm
Oh.
working like an hour, and I can't be eating a bowl of cereal. So instead I'm gonna go with Culver's. Gotta get myself a nice butter burger.
Please tell me that's not what I think it is.
No, it isn't very much not what you think it is.
Okay, good.
Le-
I was gonna say that sounds like the most American thing ever.
Well, I mean, let's be real. A burger is.
Well, I mean, yeah, but yeah. Hello, hello.
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 I accidentally moved my window over too far. I can't see the voice chat.
I am potato.
Anyways, that's what I'm getting, Spark.
How you guys doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good.
You're on stream right now, just so you know.
Oh, it's just a burger. I see.
What?
Yeah,
What's
a
stream?
butter burger.
Yeah, I was supposed to be farming black cats, but I lost track of time, and I'm still in the middle of Ghost in the Machines, so I have to do this first.
Maybe like that.
Okay, then I'll take off. My bad for interrupting.
It's okay, it happens.
You guys have fun then.
Alright.
Alright, see you.
Yeah.
I keep opening up things on accident.
Maybe like that. I think I'll ask some stuff later. For somebody else. Well, yeah! Black cats.
Black cats, they're back. And
That's
they're
crazy.
black. What?
Careful what your next sentence is. Wait, I forget. Do you normally stream on like weekdays?
I just do whatever.
Oh,
Whatever I feel like it, more specifically.
whenever you feel like. I mean, that's entirely fair. But it's also like, oh wait, no, today is Saturday. I'm surprised. What? I thought for some reason today was Thursday. I don't know why I thought today was Thursday. Today is Saturday.
I was gonna say it's Thursday somewhere, but it's literally not true.
Yeah, no. At most, it's ever 3 days of the week.
What?
So, yeah, time zones are weird. So, it's currently Saturday here.
Swear to God,
in the Western Hemisphere.
you're about to tell me there's like a new weekday or something that they
No.
discovered.
No, no. Instead, they invented a fucking time zone.
Oh, they invented a new time zone. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this is not recent. This is actually pretty old, but like, they invented a plus 13 and 14 time zone. I'm not even fucking joking with you.
Where?
Kiribati. It's in the Pacific.
Okay, well, yeah, that makes sense. It's just basically in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, but by that logic, it would either be plus or minus 14. It's not 14, sorry, 12. But yeah, so because of that, they're the first country to ever hit New Year's every year. And then also on top of that, it could be Monday here in the US, but it could be straight up fucking Wednesday over there. Like, this is how weird shit is.
So basically, it's Thursday somewhere.
When it's Tuesday here, yes. Either way, it's fair to say they live in the future. And if the future is a Pacific island, that either means it's really good or really bad. Hear about the weather?
Let me guess, tornadoes?
Yeah,
Or
tornadoes.
is it worse?
Well, there's like 500,000 people here in the U.S. that lost power. It was mainly
Couldn't be
in
me.
like South. Yeah, it couldn't be you. You know, being on the seaboard. But it was like in southeastern Kentucky and St. Louis, I think on the Illinois side.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen any tornadoes recently. I feel like they might be making stuff up.
Maybe, I don't know. Do you really ever get tornadoes?
No.
Yeah, I figured as much. I mean, you get
Well, actually, it
hurricanes.
was okay. No tornadoes, but it was actually storming. A couple mornings ago. I forgot which day exactly.
Yeah, but that's a storm. Who cares? Storms are storms.
It was like a lot
They
of
don't
lot
mean
of, lot of thunder. At like
Somebody scared
8,
of a little
8, 9
thunder?
in the morning.
Somebody spooked of a little thunder.
No, it was just loud. I was trying to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get that.
And then
kinda find it
and then I
strange
was too tired to like I was too tired to get up, but it was also too like the noise was too disruptive for me to go back to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I cut you off.
No, I don't know. I just kind of find like thunderstorms at night, so long as they're like distant enough to be soothing. It's a very me thing, I feel like.
So, you discover any new colors recently?
I don't know. I kind of haven't shot any lasers in my eyes. Maybe if you look into that laser right there, the one you're fighting,
I'll see
you'll
a new
find
color. Is this Olo right here?
This might be Olo, unironically.
It's actually I mean, it's kind of close.
Yeah.
It seems more bluish, but still.
Shit, we should make a whole ass like meme, just and for Spiral Knights, just about the color Olo.
What if I... Oh, wait. Never mind. For a moment, I considered opening up like a color filter and like making the game look weird, but that would probably not be great.
No, probably not.
I have MS Paint on my taskbar and I keep clicking it back
How do you do that?
because I keep clicking it by accident.
Maybe you don't. Never
I
thought
keep
about
clicking
that?
it on purpose.
What, are you gonna draw something? You gonna draw Olo?
I'm gonna draw all the...
He's gonna show the Spiral Knights player base what Olo is.
It's in the thumbnail.
That's true. But, you know, artist's interpretation of Olo.
So how do we know that? How do we know that they actually saw Olo? What if they were actually looking at a different color, and they need to look at a different laser pointer to find Olo?
You're right. Maybe they were looking at YOLO.
Solo.
They're looking at Solo. I mean, he's not too far off from the Olo they were talking about. Maybe Solo was the Olo we were looking for after all along.
I don't understand. Are you on?
It's a very deep rhetorical and philosophical question.
Would you be interested in looking for cats of the black variety?
Careful with that next statement, but yeah, sure.
Is there something wrong with what I said?
Only if you want to make it so.
I'm just not. I'm not counting how many lasers there are. I keep walking up.
I don't either. I don't. Then again, I don't really do Ghost of the Machine all too often.
You should do it. It's fun.
It probably is.
So, what's your arms appropriation for tomorrow? I have to make a Venom Veiler.
I didn't even look at that. Let's see. Electronic vortex. Huh. You know what?
Do you even have that recipe?
I would do that. No, I don't think I have the recipe. But I would do that. That would be pretty funny, though.
That's
That outfit, yep.
Yeah, at some point I'm gonna have to get heat, because heating up a 4-star weapon takes a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Always can do some Vanna.
I don't wanna... But I'm going to anyways, because it's too efficient to not do it.
Yeah, very much.
Alright, here we are, 16 minutes later, finally ready to start playing the event.
Yeah, we just had that little like what do they call that stuff before like the actual show at like a concert or whatever?
Free something? I don't know.
I think yeah, pre something.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember the word.
I don't either. Just be like that, I guess.
I forgot, yeah, the for some reason the Shadow Arrow Helm is back.
What?
Again?
Oh. What?
Which is upsetting, because I'd rather them run it in like a different color scheme that's like unavailable, rather than
Yeah.
doing
I don't
Shadow
know.
a second time.
I really don't care about the arrow stuff. I don't think it looks all that good.
Alright, how many books are you planning to get?
Zero.
In this session?
0. I don't give a shit.
Not with that attitude. You want to gamble?
What are we gambling? And what for?
I don't know, actually.
Let's see, what am I willing to gamble? I am willing to gamble a Dark Shard.
Out
Out of my Dark Shard.
Bold.
Yeah, I got like a little collection, you know.
A little collection. I'm pretty sure everyone does.
Oh shit. Ah, you can get me. Oh goddamn. Oh.
Howitzer boosting?
Maybe.
New tech?
New tech? Speedrunners, beware. Elevator on left. Excuse me.
Man, why is this event like extremely boring?
Well, all the rotating events are. Let's be real.
Well, yeah, they're all. I mean, like all of them are a little tedious in some capacity, but
I mean, cause like this one you're just going back to the same level to find black cats 1 in 90% of the time. Then you're just running through like the same 3-4
arcade
levels
gates
and
for like 3 missions or 3 or so events.
yeah. With like Apocria, you're just running through the set levels, and like when you get to the plateau, you're just running through a fucking graveyard. And then Torter Drones, you're just grinding out fiends and then finally doing fights like
Nope.
Oh, wow, that was some lag. Okay, did you see
Yeah,
that?
I was wondering what happened.
I trapped
Oh,
myself.
lag. My game, my PC, no.
Not my high-end PC, no! Give me a second. I may have trapped myself back there momentarily. I think you accidentally shot one-shot that spook cat.
Oh yeah, I shot it twice, but I think they both
Oh.
double hit or whatever.
Yeah.
According to Spar Market, black cat spawns are based off last or are timer based off last encounter and not random chance based. That is absolutely not true. I can say from experience that that is absolutely not the case.
Yeah, that is very much not the case.
And not even close. How would that even describe like getting double black hats like in the same level or whatnot,
I don't know.
or even triple? I've had 2 levels in previous events where I had 3 black hats on a single floor.
Or maybe the time before you can get a black cat is randomized between like a 1 and 90. Although that's just a crack shot theory.
Yeah, I'm also not sure how that would work with like.
Because like at that point you may as well just like have the 1 in 90 anyways.
Multiple people in a part. Okay, but what if I'm in a solo party and I get double black hats?
Alright, you go up.
Have you collected 200 books yet? Yep. I actually have 200 on me right now.
Yeah, they're just currently tucked away in an email with Cronus.
Yeah. Cronus currently he confiscated all of my books that I got last event.
Yeah, it was a way to not have him banned.
He really wanted to read.
Let's read the Art of War by Sun Tzu. Just learn about all the things he did and didn't say. Like, for example, he never said, I am Sun Tzu. I am a normal person.
I thought he said that.
You know, I thought so originally too, but once you read the book, you're like, wow, a lot of this shit I already knew.
Sun Tzu said that.
He sure
I'd
did.
say he knows a little bit more than you do. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, actually, how many, three explosive blocks in a row? That's weird.
That's crazy.
I've only ever gotten, I think, 4 books total, maybe 3.
I've only ever gotten 1. And really, that's all I care about. Coming from somebody who doesn't play by the meta, you know?
When did you get your book?
A long time ago. Probably anywhere between 2013 and 2017.
Yeah, I remember my first book was on. Don't remember. It was 2018 to 19. Don't remember exactly when it was. But I remember it was the first Black Cat event I actually participated in.
Mm-hmm.
and I got it like an hour into the event. It was like
Oh, damn.
really, it was actually really funny in like the group I was farming with.
I'd be like, yeah, so is this thing supposed to be rare? You can go ahead and start a new one.
Yeah, let's check at the sides. Yeah. So me, it was in I was in Altos. We had like a group farming, like a group like formed, like as soon as the event dropped. And yeah, it was like an hour into the event. I got my, like it was one of the first. It wasn't the first, but it was one of the first black cats I killed, and I got a book,
Wild.
which is yeah, pretty crazy RNG. And then I proceeded to get nothing for like 2 or 3 years.
That sounds about right. You think there's been people who's been grinding for like half a decade but still haven't gotten a book yet?
Yes.
And I mean, like,
okay,
they're
I
proof of-
have 2 friends. I don't remember who the second one, like who exactly was the other person, but my friend Try was farming books for I think for like 4 years. Like farming the Black Cat event, like at least to some extent every single time it came around, and he only ever got, I think he got his first book the previous event, I think, or perhaps the one prior to that. Don't remember which one. But like fairly recently, he got his first book. Well, you know, like last year-ish, recently. So
Oh,
it's
that's
still
good.
not quite.
But yeah, that's rough. We should get Solo to participate with us. That way, when he gets his book, he can just throw it away.
You just sell it again. Didn't he do that already? He sold a book, or is that the Mixmaster?
Mixmaster.
All right, he sold a Mixmaster. I wonder if you can feed a book to a battle sprite.
Does it count as a material?
Yeah, it's a 5-star material.
That's a good thing to test out, because now that can potentially go into my obscure
Obscure
packs
packs.
video. Give me a second, I'm going to change armor real quick.
I have a feeling it wouldn't, because I'm pretty sure like you're not able to feed them like event materials, like the Indestruct, like the Winterfest
You can't?
materials, and like
Is it because they're
Wicked
bound?
Whiskers. Maybe.
Are books? No, books aren't bound though.
Books aren't, yeah, but I think the other ones, it might be because they're bound. You know, I can check this actually, because my Seraphynx isn't technically max level. Okay, yeah, it's not, okay, so yeah, I'm not able to feed it event materials, but, Schemer Scrap, the material for the trophies,
Mhm.
also the Shadowlayer materials seem to also not work.
Oh,
So yeah, most likely the you can't feed it the book, but that would be funny if you could.
that would be. I'm still gonna try it if we ever get a book.
Eat the book.
Eat it. Gain the knowledge.
Could you imagine if that is what you had to do to get a Black Hat Seraphynx? You had to buy a Seraphynx and then feed it a book,
God.
and then it turned into a Black Hat Seraphynx.
The market would just absolutely be inflated.
Ayo. Didn't see that.
I very much saw that. There's nothing I could do but look at it.
Just like the color Olo.
So, very much. Now the question is, how many people here do you think still don't know about that?
I learned. Oh, we got one.
Hey.
I learned about it yesterday. So probably not that many.
Probably, I don't know. It was making the rounds online at least.
I was thinking of something earlier when I was talking about books, but I forgot. It was something to do with Margrel, but I don't remember.
Maybe it holds the key that allows us to the book will tell us how to see Olo with the naked eye. That's why it's
Is it even
an ancient
possible?
book. Maybe, we'll have to read the book and find out.
Did Margrel read, or did Margrel see so? I can speak. Did Margrel see Olo?
Took somebody's aim. What? Am I lagging? There we go.
A little bit.
I'm actually getting some pretty bad lag.
Is this real life? Or is this fantasy?
Or is this just Olo?
Hold on, I need a reminder. What does it look like again? Hold on. I have to... It's basically just turquoise. It's just turquoise. I don't understand.
Well,
There he goes.
I'm lagging so hard. Holy crap, what's going on?
Is there a tornado nearby?
No, not today. Doesn't look like it. It's just windy as shit. Because, like, they described Olo as, like, turquoise. At least
Ooh,
from
nice.
what we could visibly see.
It was like... I forgot what the article said. It was like a more intense... Like, green,
More intense.
or whatever they said.
Turquoise, green...
Or more saturated, I think is the word they used.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I'm gonna start opening the party.
Fair enough.
You know, something else I thought about is that it is actually kind of nice how the Candlestick Keep focuses almost entirely on spook cats,
Yeah, because,
which
like,
is nice.
for the most part, it's like, you mostly just come across zombies and stuff.
Oh,
Oh shit.
you're welcome.
I see how it is.
Yeah, so you have like Candlestick Keep focuses mostly on spook cats. Devil's Drudgery is entirely Devilites, with the like occasional Silkbeing and Trojan.
Yeah.
And then Wolver dens are obviously just packed full of wolvers, but also sometimes have Chromolix, Slumber, Polyps.
Mm-hmm.
But it's mostly wolvers.
Yeah, because, like, I think every monster, like, major monster has their own themed level. Because zombies have graveyards. Graveyards are a weird one because they're considered elite enemies, so they don't get their own, like, specialized level or whatever. Oh wait, no, I'm not.
Gremlins
I'm
with
just
the
gonna monster
decon
families in
zones.
general. I'm just thinking of monster families. Never mind. I think
Yeah,
it's just
like
undead.
because most levels it's either like procedurally generated or it's like a combination of things, like a combination of two different specific monsters or monster families.
Yeah.
And it's nice to have, at least for like for this situation, where like the entire event revolves around just getting a rare monster spawn off of a spook cat. It's nice to have a level that specifically focuses on spook cats.
That gives them a lot of lore too.
Also, the music's good.
The music is nice. I think it,
Wow, what's going on in the cat event? There are black cats. So far, nobody's been banned.
And before we get banned. If that happens,
is this the room that has? Hold on. It is. I forgot about that. Yeah, for some reason that room has 4 cat spawn, but they only spawn after you kill one of the houses.
Okay, I forgot about that.
I also forgot about that. It's a little obscure. So you know how, like, decon zones, it's just, like, entirely gremlins, basically? Like, gremlin whackers, specifically?
Yeah.
What is the stream delay? It does that. Actually, it's significantly shorter than usual. Usually it's, like, 10 whole seconds or something. It seems to be about, like, 3 to 4. Which is really good, actually.
That's good.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, so like, decon zones, almost entirely gremlin whackers. For Ghosts in the Machines, the level, or the first floor is functionally a decon zone. With different rooms, but all the gremlin whackers are replaced with mechanites. Which can be hectic. So I wonder what it would be like if they took that format, like the decon zone level format, and made it Fiend, so it was just filled with grievers.
Oh, good god.
Because I'm pretty sure grievers occupy the same, like, thing as...
yeah, they occupy the same family, or enemy type, because they're both elite.
Mechanites, yeah.
Perish the thought, though. Like, I don't think grievers are that bad, but, like, I know a lot of people would just be crying.
Shock grievers are pretty bad.
Okay, I'll concede with that.
I actually wonder what that would be like if there was a level that focused, like, solely on grievers, or like some other monster that we don't see too much of.
I feel like they would style it after, like, a cave or something. I feel like that would be something that would make a lot of sense. Make it the unused water temple.
When is Spiral Knights 2 dropping? Tomorrow.
I don't know, you'll have to ask Nick.
He'll have to ask Nick. Shoot him an email, he'll tell you.
He'll be like, what are you talking about? Do you mean Slime Rancher 2? No, we mean Spiral Knights 2.
Spiral Knights. Do you know that game? Imagine asking Nick if he knows Spiral Knights.
Yeah, it was my love child until I had issues with Sega or whatever.
Imagine if they had a level type specifically for Gorgos.
Oh, good god, please perish the thought. Which is ironic, because, like, I hate Gorgos more than I hate Grievers.
Oh yeah. Gorgos
I do kind of want to know, like,
really
what
annoying.
percentage of players hates Fiends, or sorry, Devilites, Grievers, or Gorgos the most? Because, like, I don't know. I'm kind of curious. Maybe I should do a poll for that.
Personally, I really don't think Devilites are that bad. The only issue I have with Devilites is the amount of tracking they have.
They're just skitterish as fuck, honestly.
And also whenever they just jump around like 8 or 9 times in a row.
Yeah, and that's really what I mean by skitterish.
Imagine a level filled entirely with pit bosses.
Jeez.
No other Devilites, specifically pit bosses.
Yep. That we just love HP sponges. Well, now I think about it, it wouldn't even work because for them to even be around, they have to have like
Yeah, it has to have a Devilite. And then likewise, as soon as you killed one, it would also just like reset them all to Devilites.
Yeah. So what you would do then is lock one up in a little 1x1 tile, so that way, all the pit bosses remain pit bosses, but they can't reach the Devilite.
I wonder how many tier 3 gremlin menders you would need for a level to be virtually unplayable without poison.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Well, I feel like so you would need something to get you away from the menders, like Mechanites or something, like some monster that's aggressive. And I feel like Gorgos would be a good contender because they move around a lot, and
yeah,
you can't really be anywhere near them without taking damage.
At the same time, too, is like there's a lot of things you can stack for damage, and also just Acheron's just stupidly powerful. So I am curious, like, to how many you would need to out heal.
Right, why does that happen here specifically? Have you ever encountered the bug where like you pick up a speed buff orb and it just doesn't give you the buff?
No.
That for some reason that happens like quite often, but only here. Like specifically Candlestick Heap. I don't know why. Or at least I've never seen it or had it happen to me on another level type. It's only on Candlestick Heap.
I must not been paying attention because like I've never seen that.
It's not a bug. Gremlins eat buffs, but it has happened like whenever there's not a Gremlin nearby. Like I'll pick up a speed orb.
Oh, okay, yeah. You know what? It just happened. I fucking spoke way too soon.
Oh wait, that's right. This is the room. Hold on. It's also happened when there's a speed buff like in the blue light where like a Gremlin can't even reach it. I pick it up and it's just gone. Like it doesn't give me the buff. Oh yeah, there was something else I noticed recently.
What's that?
So you know how like Gremlikins, it's like 1 and then +1 for each player, kind of. I don't know why I threw that twice. So then if you're in a party, there's like an extra one, I think. So in a 4-player party, there's up to 5 Gremlikins, I think.
No, I think it's capped out at 4. What's weird though is when you're doing Scared to Death and Rescue the Knight, you know, you're supposed to get 2, but you get like 3 or 4 even.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's. Okay, no, I'm pretty sure in a party, like a 4-player party, 5 spawn, even though it's only 4 players. I'm not sure what exactly the thing is there. But yeah, I noticed, yeah, when in Scared of Death, whenever you rescue the knight, another Gremlin will spawn in his like in that place. But I also noticed that with a Mechanite kit, the Mechanite will also cause an additional Gremlin to spawn.
Yeah, so I think it counts as an allied entity, I guess.
Yeah, so I'm really curious as to how many Gremlikins you can get to spawn in the same level. If you have like Mechanite kits, recon flares, possibly turret kits. I'm not sure if they also count. I imagine they would.
I don't think turret kits count.
I haven't tried.
Strangely enough, I don't.
I haven't gotten a turret kit in a Candlestick Keep in a while, but
Yeah. The issue
yeah,
is like that's such a hyper specific setup that you would need GM intervention for that.
yeah, because like having unless you wanted to go like from depth 0 and like try to collect as many of those items as possible, like in a party. But yeah, it would be just a lot of RNG.
Even then, it's still pretty infeasible.
I'm
Oh,
pretty
that's
sure
true.
cats spawn down there, but it's too inconvenient.
Oh wait, this is not that room. Never mind.
Merc?
Yep.
There's a key up here.
Alright, I'll clean out this area then. Never mind, there's nothing to clean out. I don't think it matters.
Well, that room, like where the gate is, has 3 more cats.
Oh, yeah. I'm just like slowly running on autopilot. Alright, I could probably do 2 more runs before I have to go.
All right. I'm pretty sure I've talked about this before, but like I really feel like that this event should either I really feel like it should either be that like the black cats are far more common, but the books are still rare, or the black cats are like remain as uncommon as they are, or they appear even less often, but in exchange the book drop is increased.
I think they should add new items.
New items just in general do things.
Oh yeah.
Well, I feel like you could say that about any event.
I mean, true.
Yeah, well, speaking of which, yeah, the current black cat, or the not the black cat set, but like the other cat sets that you can make are all really underwhelming.
This is on the level. There's nothing up here.
Oh, that's a very short level pack.
Yeah, I just realized that. Holy crap. I'm gonna take a screenshot of that. That is so unbelievably short. I think though, like, out of all the events that need some more like content added to it in terms of like weapons and stuff, it has to be the anniversary event.
Yeah, anniversary.
It's
What
just the
This-
fucking boxes and then the cupcake hat. That's it. There is like, unfortunately,
it's
for
just
its anniversary,
devoid of content.
it is really just devoid of items and.
Someone just says
Actual
Iron
interesting
Tech Destroyer. What do you mean?
I love the Iron Tech Destroyer. How did you know?
It's a pretty cool bomb.
It's a pretty cool bomb.
I feel like if the Black Cats could drop Iron Tech Destroyers, the event would be saved.
Oh, definitely. Shit.
I'm curious, like in terms of like new weapons. I'm curious what they could add for like a Black Cat themed weapon. It'd probably be like a curse weapon, I would imagine.
A cursed cutter. That's a brilliant idea. Because I feel like a cutter would make sense. Right?
I'm trying to imagine if like the charge attack could curse you like Grand Faust, like you use the cutter charge attack, you know, it curses you and you take damage from the rest of the charge attack because it keeps you still for so long.
Yeah. I'm all dripped out today. I'm just running my my shadow loadout.
It's white.
Yep.
What? Oh, I want to change my costume too. Hold on.
Oh, first thing, Black Hat.
Did you get a book?
I've not killed it yet.
Stuck in a tight spot. A lot of cursed breaths.
Yep. That's like, why is their name Carnivon? It's like, why are they named after a location?
Are they carnivores?
I don't know. For some reason, to me, I thought they're like named after like that one place in Wales called Carnarvon, or something like that. That's my thought process.
I didn't know about that location. Is there anything of interest there?
Probably Welsh people.
Ah, but the answer is no.
I mean, there might be a castle. Who knows? I mean, it's not spelled the same as the place in Wales, but I don't know. I'm like, it's close enough. Probably spelled the same way. Who knows? Or sounds the same way.
I wish they'd rerun the Owlay archaeology box.
They could have and they should have done that with this event.
Didn't they skip? Like, I heard that there's usually like a promo sometime in like spring, like winter to spring, and I think they skipped it or something.
I don't know.
And we haven't gotten like a genuine promo aside from Equinox or whatever in a while.
Yeah, again, I don't know.
I also haven't been I haven't been
like,
keeping track.
Like, unlike you, I have been like very absent in terms of like SK and stuff at the moment. You know.
Yeah, you were playing 8-Ball or something. I don't know.
Maybe I haven't been playing 8-Ball recently. Actually, what?
That actually sounds really neat. Like having a miniature turtle drone follow you around.
Yeah, actually, it'd be kind of cool. Question is, which
I feel
which
like
would it be the most?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I feel like Masquerade would be the most thematic with like the quills, but I don't know.
But I feel like it has to be Drakon, only because like it wouldn't make sense for it to go invisible.
Yeah, but also turtle drones don't inflict fire at all.
No, but they do have a lot of fire power.
That okay. it's such a terrible point. You could apply that to like any enemy in the game.
I don't know. I feel like out of all of them, Drakon probably feels like it makes the only logical sense. Because why would a turtle drone go invisible?
I don't know, why would a turtle drone shoot fireballs?
Because they shoot crystals and they like, I don't know.
Quills. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure either. I just lagged through that spike. Or lagged through that spike trap. Can you go to the bottom to check? Because the spook cats spawn down there.
This seems to be a spot that spook cats tend to spawn, and no. Alright, that's probably my last one.
Fun fact, the Seraphim's first ability lets its enemies briefly see the color Olo.
Oh my god.
No way.
That's crazy. Anyways, you have a good rest of the stream. I gotta go head out to work now.
Alrighty, thanks for joining.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime.
Alright, see you.
Bye-bye.
I'm all alone now. This is just how things go. I was gonna say something. Oh yeah, event rewards. Yeah, the anniversary event. I know I spent a very significant amount of time talking about it when it was around, but yeah, the boxes are just underwhelming. Why would a ram go invisible? I don't know. What other masquerade? Yeah, you have like the Snarble-axe, but I feel like Snarble-axe. No, now I'm the one that. Yeah, I'm in the padded room. Yeah, I mean Snarble-axe kind of makes sense because like he burrows underground, which I mean I guess could be drawn to like disappearing, so to speak, but I don't know. I feel like the anniversary event could also be made better if there was a way to get the chef coats to some capacity, because those ones are also nice and it would be worth farming for, but yeah. Yeah, I want to talk about the black cat, the other, not black cat, the other cat hoods, or just the sets in general. I don't have the cloaks because they require whiskers to make. It's like what, low? Yeah, like attack speed low, damage bonus low for everything, and then charge time low for bombs because it doesn't get attack speed. They're just not good. I don't know, yeah. Just, I feel like those armor sets could be made better to be worth using at all. I'm still thinking about the Tortodrome Battle Sprite ability, like Battle Sprite idea. I feel like there might be enough to like just make like to imagine it as its own Battle Sprite. Like I'm thinking of like some Shockwave themed attack that would cause like a debuff, or perhaps just deal a bunch of damage. But I don't know. Weird how that left howitzer spawned as a regular howitzer, not a poison one. Oh, cool. I'm gonna count, after this run, I'm gonna go through and count how many black cats I've found. And then I'll think of a stopping point. I really don't like seeing that. Shadow Arrowhead, why? Please, just give us, like, anything else. It's the wrong window. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. I'll say like 7, maybe. Depends on how quickly or slowly that takes me. So I'll look for 3 more black hats. Oh yeah, the Margot, yeah, so something else that I thought was pretty interesting. So I'm really not sure why it's such a, what's the word? Misconception, I guess, works, that the, like people think that the Margot boss fight is tier 3 for some reason, even though it takes place in the Moorcroft manor. If you look at like damage numbers that you deal and whatnot, and the amount of damage you take, it's all scaled down to tier 2. Something else that I thought was pretty neat was, so the last time the event happened, and the whole scene hopping yada yada band stuff happened, I went ahead and willingly did a Margot run, which is kind of funny. Professor Delta and I were just in Haven joking about the whole situation, and he was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go buy a book right now and do a run, like intentionally do a run in the middle of like all of this stuff that's happening, which was really stupid but also really funny, and I did it anyways. In that run, I realized 2 things. A, I got cursed, and like usually when you're wearing black hat, everything is cursed. All of, is there a parrot in my living room? No. Was there like a high-pitched noise? I don't know. Yeah, usually when you're wearing black hat, I'm just checking stuff right now. Like all of your items are cursed. All your weapons, everything is cursed. And I noticed, yeah, I don't know, it was just some sound. I'm not sure what it was. And I noticed that, so I got cursed, and I was like using a Fang of Og. I did my charge attack, and then I was like, okay, I kind of just have to sit out for the next, 40, however long the timer is. So, but I scrolled through my weapons and noticed that my Fang of Og wasn't cursed. I had 3 weapons equipped, and only 2 of them got cursed, which normally isn't possible when you're wearing black hat. So I realized then is that because it's scaled down to tier 2, I guess curse, I guess like being cursed in tier 2 doesn't make as big of a difference in tier 3 or something. I'm not sure exactly, but yeah. Because again, I was still wearing black hat, but despite that, only 2 of my weapons got cursed. And then later on in that same run, I got, like I was using Fang of Og still because it was the only weapon that wasn't cursed. I was using Fang of Og, and I noticed the self fire was doing like only like a very small amount of health, like damage to me. And again, like I had no Vitapods or health capsules. I was just like taking fire damage, but it was doing basically no damage. Which again can be drawn to like it being tier 2, because I'm taking fire damage in tier 2 instead of tier 3, so it deals less damage, which is neat because that means that Fang of Og, and also means like the curse is less of a threat because you're not completely screwed if you're wearing black hat, unlike if you're in tier 3 getting cursed. You just have to sit around and wait for a while. It's just cursing you? No, it's definitely not. I've gotten cursed with Fang of Og before. Mark is a really interesting boss. It's just kind of a shame that you never really encounter him because of how rare the book is, and in turn how expensive it is to like get into a run. The other thing I kind of like about this event is that it gives me an excuse to run around with alchemers, because I usually just stick to something more efficient, or at least recently I've just been using swords for the most part, and it lets me just shoot alchemers and like practice, you know, getting good ricochets and whatnot. This might give me a good excuse for bringing Turbillion, because it's really good at breaking walls. Are there that many? There aren't that many rooms that have like stone blocks in them though. I kind of wish Turbillion's projectile dealt more damage. Alchemer Denier? I'm not an Alchemer Denier. Alchemers are fun. Yeah, I feel like the amount of damage the sword deals, is fine. Because it also has a lot of range, and not just like the projectile. I mean, like the actual sword itself has a lot of range and it covers a lot of distance. But I feel like the projectile could do more damage. It's quite low. Like if you try killing something with just the projectile, it takes way too long. I'm also not sure what like there are so many things they could do to the charge attack to make it good. So about the charge attack, there is like a way to use it that's like really neat, because I've talked about this before. It functions. The Turbillion charge attack, it functions like a Caliber and a Magnus, where like you use it at a close distance and it like pushes things away, and then like if it pushes them into where the bullet is, you know, flying, and like that seems really neat, but it just deals like so little damage, and like the projectile just never hits things. There actually is another point that I recently... Oh, nice. There actually is like another thing about Turbillion that I recently realized is pretty great. The projectile covers a lot of distance for a sword. Like the charge attack, I mean. Like the charge attack's projectile. Like it's able to fly over gaps, and it covers a pretty wide distance for a sword, which is neat. It's also pretty fast, and it doesn't get caught on things as much as like Divine Avenger. Now as to how useful that is, not very, but it's still a neat thing that Turbillion does better than most swords. I also the fact that it pierces. There aren't many swords that have good crowd control, and Turbillion definitely doesn't have good crowd control, but the fact that the projectile can pierce through enemies and hit multiple enemies at once gives it the potential to have good crowd control, but again, I really don't know what exactly the issue is, if it's like the hitboxes or what. It's like the projectile very frequently goes straight through something and it only hits it like once. Sometimes it doesn't even hit something and it like goes through an enemy. But yeah, I wish Turbillion was a bit better. I always keep forgetting. I need to pick up the Ember up there on my way down. I think that's it for this room anyways. Is have the charge attack linger in place and deal damage over time. Actually, that does sound neat. The idea I've heard a lot is to have the charge attack function like a vortex bomb, where it pulls enemies into it as it travels. Which could also help with the whole hitbox thing I was talking about, where it doesn't hit things. If it pulled enemies towards it, that would probably make it hit things more often. But it's hard to say. For sure, having just a bigger projectile, like making the projectile just larger, is like a necessity, to be honest. Yeah, also upping the damage, because the projectile's damage deals less damage than the sword itself. Which is really odd, because I'm pretty sure... I'd have to go through and check a lot of charge attacks. I'm pretty sure Turbillion is the only weapon in the entire game that deals less damage on its charge attack. That just seems really odd. There might be a gun, like there might be like for example the Antiqua, like regular shots. Like the Antiqua charge, you shoot a bunch of bullets once and then you fire the bird. The regular bullets might deal the same damage as the regular attack. Maybe I don't remember exactly what the damage values on those are, but like even then, I imagine it wouldn't be less. Having the charge attack deal less damage, it's just really. Well, okay, main attack full combo, yeah, because the dash attack hits like 4 or 5 times, which, I mean, yeah. But like the actual amount of damage it deals, like the amount of damage that the first swing, or even like the damage from the second swing, like the number is lower than the charge attack, which deals more damage. The charge attack hits less times and therefore has less DPS, but the amount of damage that it deals is still higher. I really don't know why I used to dislike the magma drivers so much. Not because it was an alchemer. I enjoyed alchemers a lot, like way back. Like I'm talking back like before I even got the Orbe gun. For some reason, I just really didn't like the magma driver. I thought it was just a waste to make this over Nova driver, which is still kind of. I mean, it's not entirely incorrect, because Nova Driver is basically just a better version. You're better off just dealing more damage. But I mean, Magma Driver is still really good. You ever feel like Antiguas are a misunderstood weapon type? maybe a little bit. I'm not sure. I feel like their ability, like how fast the bullets are, and like their ability to just like hit things from a distance and whatnot. I feel like that's a little underappreciated. But as an actual weapon, yeah, they're basically just worse than blasters, like just about every way. The charge attack is strong, but like it takes too long. Like it takes too long to get to the last bullet, which is like the one that deals a lot of damage. I really feel like the Antigua charge attack would be better if you were able to like change the direction that you fire, like for the you could like you fire it, you know, like 5 or 6 times. I don't know exactly how many times, but you fire a bunch of times and then you fire the last shot, which is bird. I feel like if you were able to change the direction you're aiming during those first hits, that could help a lot, because you're not completely stuck in place. Because like with autoguns, for example, autoguns have a similar thing where like you're stuck in place, but they cover like a cone shape in front of you. So like even if you miss slightly, you're still likely to hit something that like goes to the side. That, and also autoguns flinch. I don't think the first bullets of an Antigua charge can flinch, but I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to double check. I know that the bird, like the last shot, can flinch, but I don't think the first bullets can, and I feel like that could also be something that they do to make it a little better. How would I rate the Fang of Og? It's a very strong weapon. Obviously, it's not as capable as like a brandish. Unfortunately, I really feel like the damage values for brandishes and Fang of Og should be swapped. It seems kind of odd because like you have Fang of Og, a 3-swing sword, you know, has everything that it has, and then you have like Combustor, which I feel like is the main comparison the main weapon you'd compare it to. You have Combustor, which is significantly faster and it deals more damage. And I'm not even like considering the charge attack, just like for regular melee combat with just like using light attacks. That just seems kind of odd. How you have like these two weapons that are basically the same. They're both like elemental damage, whatever. And like aside from the fact that Fang of Og can inflict fire on its regular attacks, Combustor is just a better option because of like how much faster it is, and it deals like a pretty decent amount of like more damage than Fang of Og. But then Fang of Og also has the extra range, which is really good, which is kind of a whole other thing to talk about. And then you have the charge attack, which is like extremely nice. It's I guess you could call it divisive between like how people think of the Fang of Og, because like it's not something you can spam like a brandish charge and get away with unless you have an abundance of healing items. But like you use it, you know, if you're like if you have a bunch of things grouped together and like you know you can safely get it off, or if you're against, you know, a dreadnought or a Trojan or something equally as tanky, maybe a battle pod or something, and like getting lit and fire. I mean, it depends on your like what your health situation is. Typically, like for the most part, you should ever really use it if you can tank the fire proc. Either like you have like health or remedy capsules, or if there's a bunch of hearts on the ground, etc., something like that. Because otherwise you're just gonna lose health and then probably die. But yeah, it deals a ton of damage. It is. I'm not sure exactly, but it definitely doesn't deal as much damage as an autogun charge. But like considering how much faster it comes out, like the entire charge attack, it's like one swing. And like the autogun charge, it takes you have to stand there for like half a second or whatever for everything to fire. Yeah, it's definitely on par with like an autogun's DPS, with just how much damage it deals. Like you're able to one-shot like most enemies, and for like dreadnoughts and Trojans, it kind of depends. You have to be like a bit closer to them, and like you might have to angle it slightly, because like with calibers, if you hit it at a certain angle, you'll consistently hit something like 2 or 3 times. And so if you do that with a Thangabog, it also you'll likely get like the extra hit, which also deals a lot of damage. I also didn't answer the question, how would I rate Thangabog? Like on a scale of 1 to 10, at least a 7. Possibly like a 7.5. You didn't see me miss 3 times in a row there. Yeah, the amount of extra range, I only learned about that, like, fairly recently. Like, within the last year or so. Like prior to that, I had no idea. Oh, yeah, my game froze. Please. Alright, I'm back. Like, prior to that, I had no knowledge on Thangabog's extra range. I thought it was just a slower caliber, basically. And then, therefore, I also thought that it was just bad. Recently got Thangabog. Yeah, I'd give it a try. Yeah, like I said, the charge attack isn't something that you can just spam willy-nilly like a brandish charge. You have to like, you have to like know when and where to use it properly. Oh, yeah, so Thangabog's extra range, it is like extremely good. Like you're able to consistently outspace like Mecha Knights. If you're fighting like a Mecha Knight or even a group of Mecha Knights, and you're only using a 3-swing weapon, so like you have like a caliber or perhaps even just like a muster, Thangabog can outspace them. It's like so much. It is actually really fun to fight Mecha Knights with a Thangabog. Same thing with the phantoms in the graveyard. They're usually pretty annoying to fight if you're just trying to melee them. Especially with a 3-swing weapon, like calibers and whatnot. Have a pretty hard time dealing with them if you're not just spamming charge attacks. But Thangabog can pretty comfortably outrange them. And even if you don't like kill them, the 3rd swing usually has enough knockback to push it away before it hits you. I almost just howitzer boosted the wrong way. Oh nice, I was about to reset. Okay, completely unnecessary blitz charge. He was already like 2 hits away from dying. But I wasn't counting, was that 2 or 3? Actually, I wasn't paying attention at all for the last like 20 minutes. That was 3, but I'm in a good mood, so I'm gonna go for a 4th one, and then I'll see how I feel after that. Right, also Gorgos. So like, okay, so the thing about Gorgos, they are extremely annoying to fight, just in general. Like their movement patterns. Well, I mean, I feel like movement pattern is like the simplest way to. You just got a book? Nice. Oh, I'm stuck. Rats. You gonna sell it or are you gonna use it? So yeah, so like I remember I had a way, like I remember I already had this conversation like a while ago, and I had like a specific way that I phrased this that made a lot of sense, but I also kind of forgot. You've been hunting for 8 years for one. I'm gonna assume that means you haven't gotten one. That is tragic. Sorry to hear that. Oh, nice. Okay, that was really fast. I'm gonna go for a 5th one. Why not? Cat eye armor. Which one is that again? Is that the gunner one? You know, I'm the only one I remember is, I think Hiss is the bomber one. Yes, it is. Claws, melee. Oh, yeah, I do kind of, yeah, I could actually talk about that in a second. The monster, like, damage bonuses are interesting, like an interesting concept. The first Gorgo, yeah, so the issue, it was something to do with every enemy in the game has like predictable movement, including like Devilites, Reavers. They're all predictable. You're able to if you're familiar with how they attack and move around and how their AI works, you're able to like control how what they do and how they move and like everything about that. That is not the case for Gorgos. And also not as bad, but similarly with the critter enemies. Specifically scarabs and gel, like the gel drops. Not because of how they attack, but because whenever they're not attacking, they will randomly move in different directions. Even if they're like aggroed onto you, they will occasionally just like move away from you, just randomly, which is annoying. But Gorgos are the main are really annoying. I forgot the word. Yeah, they constantly move around just at random, like left, right. It could be forward or backwards. I got another black cat already. Okay, so like right now, I've gotten 3 black cats within the last like 5 minutes. I'm pretty sure it's not on a timer. What was I saying? Yes, and then the other issue, like furthermore with the Gorgos, is that their weird movement patterns also happen while they're attacking, like while they're like lunging forward. Like they have like a 3, like they bite forward 3 times and like lunge forward with each bite. During that attack, they're still moving around randomly, which is like extremely annoying to like deal with. Anyways, the reason I was bringing this up is because Fangavlog actually works pretty well. Like, so I was gonna mention like Gorgos, they're annoying because of all the movement stuff I just talked about. They are pretty easy to stagger. If you're using like a 2-swing weapon, if you're using a Divine Avenger or a Koika or whatever, if you like commit to the second swing and like land it, they are pretty easy to stagger and kind of stun lock. And Fangavlog also works well because of its extra range. Still not the best, because if they happen to move away from you slightly and you miss, then you're just gonna get hit by an attack they're winding up. All right, damage. Yeah, I wanted to talk about damage bonuses because that is another topic that I have. So okay, actually, real quick, something that's never happened to me. I feel like it should have happened, like more often than it does. Is like I'll shoot an Antigua shot into that corridor with the switches, and like the bullet ricochets and hits the switch again. I'm pretty sure it's never happened to me, but I feel like it should have, considering the bullets ricochet into a small room. Yeah, so the thing is, there isn't, like, inherently, there's nothing wrong with innate damage bonuses, and this same thing kind of also applies with damage UVs, but that's also a different conversation, kind of, because of how UVs work. The problem isn't with, like, the bonuses themselves, but it's just the fact that Black Cat exists, and you have damage max naturally. Like in the situations where you're not using in the situations where like you're not using Black Cat and you're lacking the damage bonuses from your gear, yeah, like innate damage bonuses actually make a massive difference. Oh, great. I was wondering what happened. Well, actually, I should have mentioned this in general. Like, I should have mentioned this beforehand. Damage bonuses are really overtuned in this game. Like going from like regardless of Black Cat or like what weapon you're using, going from damage neutral to max is like a very substantial difference. Probably more so than it should be. It is like a little overtuned is like probably the best word to use. And then the fact that Black Cat just gives you damage max by default for every weapon type, for every monster family is just overpowered. It's extremely unbalanced. But that's also but that also leads into another conversation that has to do with like armor balancing and how like defensively most armor sets are pointless and offensively most armor sets are pointless just because they're outclassed by armor sets like Black Cat and Chaos. But that is a whole nother can of worms that I don't want to get into because my voice would get tired after a while. But yeah, point is, yeah, like damage bonuses are actually really handy, and having like an innate damage bonus on your weapon does make a big difference if you're not, if you don't already have damage max. I believe I have brought this up before, and I do have this. I actually have. I don't mind sharing this. I have in the works. It won't be like it's just a bunch of bullet points right now, and I'm not really working on it too much. But there is another script I have that's all about rebalancing and like it's sort of just like going over a bunch of like more obscure aspects of the game. For example, armor sets, like the thing I just talked about. Like UVs, how certain things are balanced. And I've mentioned this in like previous conversations like years ago, and I will bring this up in that script. There is a really neat idea. I feel like it's quite simple. There is a neat idea that I would, like what I would do is that like all damage bonuses that are tied to your weapon scale separately from the damage bonuses tied to your other gear. So like if you have damage max from Black Cat, you'll have damage max from your gear, and then like Amputator will give you damage high for slime like on your weapon. And you can pair that with like a damage UV to get damage max on your weapon and your armor. So like it would basically scale like separately. Both of them would work. And that would not only would that make weapons that have innate damage bonuses like have it actually do something, but it would also the other more important thing that it would do is that it would give a purpose to where is one? Probably not construct law. Let me find one that's like meaningful. Actually, no, there is another weapon I can show off. It would give a purpose to UVs, like damage UVs. Because currently, in the current meta, damage UVs are basically completely pointless. Where is this weapon? There it is. Rock Salt Bomb. Damage slime very high with a damage slime medium UV. This weapon has damage versus slime maximum just on itself, which is really nice. But if I'm doing like a bomber build, I probably have some form of damage bonuses anyways, so like it's just wasted damage. And so like basically having this would like it would scale on top of it, like it would increase the damage furthermore than whatever my gear has. Heavy Deconstructor is also a nice one. I actually really like Heavy Deconstructor, and I would genuinely use it more for like aesthetic purposes if it wasn't for the radius being like really small compared to Nitronome. But yeah, I like the explosion of Heavy Deconstructor. It has like the Grillin symbol on it. I feel like there was something else I was going to mention, but I forgot at this point. Yeah, thank you for coming to my TED talk. Oh yeah, yes, like damage UVs. They're basically pointless. The only situation I could see someone going after a certain damage UV, aside from a meme, like getting. Do I have let me check. Like getting undead very high in your Acheron. I think I still have one of my Phantamos too, hold on. Yeah, Fiend very high on my Phantamos, which is like basically completely useless, but it's funny, so I'm keeping it anyways. But like for actual, you know, for how useful it is, they're the only situations damage UVs are really useful in if you're specifically making a loadout without using Black Cat, which is only ever a case in like very specific missions, like Compound 42. People will free. Did I hit the other? I did not hit. Oh, I did. Okay, I got confused if I hit the other switch with them. Never mind. Like for example, Compound 42, it's ideal to bring an armor set with the right defenses over Black Cat because of how frequent poison and fire is applied. And it's not just like for Compound 42 specifically, it's not like a skill thing. You can like just learn how to dodge the slimes when they dash. They inflict poison at such a large radius. It's like nearly impossible to get inflicted with poison, or to not get inflicted with poison if you're not it's like given you don't have poison walk already. But that's also besides the point. If I go 3 stars, the same as 5 star. Yeah, that part also just doesn't make any sense because you have like the the Wolver coats and the demo suits where it's like 2 through 4 star you only get CTR low for your bombs, and then it's only at 5 star where it goes up to medium, or like you switch it to bombastic, you get damage medium, whatever. But like for Black Cat at 3 star, same stats. Understandably, like the movement speed, you can't really go below like having movement speed increased low unless you just got rid of it entirely. So like I can understand the 3 star set giving you the movement speed increase, but like the damage bonus, global damage max on a 3 star set. Yeah, that part is also just the balancing there is questionable. I don't understand what that like the thing about heavy decon and gremlin bombers. Wait, is there something in the description? Sorry, I'm trying to read like 3 different things at once here, while also paying attention to where I am. I don't know. They're keeping the keys and discs separately. I actually didn't know that. I never looked at their model, so I actually didn't know that. Alright, my voice is getting... My throat's getting tired. I'm gonna get off after the next black pack. Hopefully, which is soon, and not like me farming for another 20 minutes to find one. Okay, another thing I want to mention is like, it's actually like a slightly, for me specifically, it's like slightly inconvenient that Black Cat dropped, or the event dropped, because like I want to like do the event at least a little bit. I'm not gonna be farming it like crazy because I don't really need the book. But like I'm trying to work on something, mainly the sword ranking. I've been slowly putting that together. Which also, like, there are a few other things I can mention, which basically, oh, thank you. Thank you. The TLDR, like, the long story short is that, like, last year or so, like, roughly last year, when I was putting together the guns and, like, then I switched to the bomb ranking video, the plan that I had was that I was going to gather footage throughout like fall and winter and whatnot, like slowly gather footage of a few specific things, and then like sometime like late winter, early spring, I would put together the entire video and then get it out. Like, as soon as it was done, I would just focus on like getting that done. And then, you know, the Apocrypha thing happened, which I'm pretty sure everyone knows by now. Like, the event was skipped, didn't get Apocrypha, which happens to be the one thing that I'm missing. And in the Turbillion section in the sword ranking, I specifically talk about. Oh, thank you, lag. I specifically talk about it being effective in Apocrypha for like an entire paragraph. Basically, I talk about like the things that make it good there. And like I want to, you know, I really want to have Apocrypha gameplay, like showcasing the things I'm talking about. The only gameplay I have available to me are streams from 2 Novembers ago, which I really don't want to reuse. I'd rather get something new. So basically, I think I already mentioned this in the community post like a couple weeks ago. Yeah, basically I'm just waiting on Apocrypha specifically for Turbillion gameplay is like the one thing that I'm missing. Now that isn't to say that the video is anywhere near being done. In light of like all of this, like everything that's gone on, and the fact that Apocrypha won't be happening until June again, which I sort of figured out back in like February, March, whenever that was going on. I decided to sort of put the sword video to the side and like slowly work on it while I do other stuff, because it's like no matter how quickly I get it done, I'm gonna have to wait until June anyways. So I haven't been focusing on it too much, but I have been still making progress on it. It's just not as fast as it would have been if I otherwise had the Turbillion gameplay. Then I would have been hammering out the entire video, like since, you know, the end of winter or whatever. Basically, I'm working on it, but I have to wait anyway, so it's not completely done. Which is kind of funny. Speaking of which, hold on, which day is it on? I believe the 24th? Yes. So the 24th of this month will officially, yeah, 1 week from now, like exactly 7 days from now, will officially mark 11 months since the last Apocrypha event. I went back and I took a screenshot of like the SK website where they officially announced the events. The last Apocrypha event was June 24, 2024. And so yeah, the 24th in like a week from now will officially mark 11 months. And then I mean it's probably gonna show up in June. I really hope it shows up in June. Which, as I mentioned a few months ago, will be a full year, which is kind of sad, but also kind of funny that we haven't seen an event in an entire year. I'm pretty sure it's never happened. Like I'm pretty sure ever since, you know, they added each event, it's been rerun within like 7 months of like the last time it was run. So like Turtle Drones, for example, like the event was reran like at least 7 months prior to the previous one, like at any given point during the calendar. And then you have, you know, fast forward to today, you have Apocrypha being skipped for an entire year, which is just humorous. We have given Acheron Buster base damage. Maybe. Well, okay, so I feel like the thing that most players can agree with is that brandishes just deal way too much damage, period. So like overall, like the amount of damage that the swords deal definitely needs to be adjusted. And by adjusted, I mean lowered. I don't know, I'm not sure about that, because if that was the case, if Acheron did the same damage as the other brandishes, but just had a damage bonus, it would just be an objectively worse Obsidian Edge at that point. So I'm not sure about that. I don't know. Please give me a black cat. I'm getting tired. You know, I want to end it off with a black cat. Oh, I missed that. But don't you guys think it's kind of funny how like half of the events in this game are purple? You have black cats, which are purple and shadow themed. You've got Apocrypha, which is very purple. Turtle drones are I mean, you've got a lot of colors there, but you got like the turtle drones themselves are filled with dark matter and in turn purple. The glyphs, most of them are purple. Dark Harvest has, well, it's like purple and orange, but there's a lot of purple there too. Everything's purple. I think I might be saying something. Also, hello. Oh, that's right, they're all my alt. Okay, yeah, by the way. Yeah, I don't have any of them on this account. Why green? Well, I mean, I guess like, you know, the regular turtle drones are red and green. Like, you know, the default not infected. What's the word? But like corrupted. Like the default uncorrupted turtle drones are like greenish, and then they turn red when they're aggroed. But those don't exist in the game anymore. Apparently that used to be a thing, but it's not in the game anymore. But the ones that you fight, like in the Apocria event, in the turtle drone event, sorry. The ones that you fight, they're filled with dark matter and they're purple. They have like purple lightning and stuff on them. The embers have really weird hitboxes. You're able to light things up from behind a block. Okay, I always forget which orientation you have to be in for this to spawn the other enemies. I believe it's like left and right spawns the spook cats, up and down. Well, wait, no, because I entered from the left. I don't know. Did I see what you sent me? Yes. I don't remember the slushy channel. I don't know. I'm not sure who you are exactly, but I do read my mail, so I probably did. Yeah, there is an up there. There's the last black cat. Let's go. Can we get a book? Yep, you bet. Well, I'm gonna get off after this, but if I happen to get the room I'm thinking of, there is another room where you can kind of just throw the ember through a block to light a candle, which saves a little bit of time because you don't have to like walk around it to light the candle. You can just throw it at the block and light the candle through the block. It's very similar to this one, but it seems I didn't get it. Before the broken release of Radiant, and when monsters had auto track? What? Yeah, I'm wondering the same thing. Okay, I'm gonna assume you mean like Radiant Fire Crystals, making things like annoying to upgrade. I have no idea what auto track is. If you're talking about like auto target that's still in the game, you can just toggle it in the menu. You can see me developing my gambling in real time. No, I'm tired. I'll make it off. I should have checked how many pages I had beforehand. Let's see how many I have now. 760. Cool. Oh, alright, never mind. All right, I'm tired actually. I need to sit down. Where's my thing? I forgot. Here it is. No, before monsters used to instantly attack you and follow your movement. What? I can't say I recall that, but that sounds interesting. Well, I mean, technically, everything still tracks your movement. It's just some enemies are slow. Anyways, I'm gonna go because I'm tired. Thanks for tuning in. Black Cat is back, which is neat.
I don't like black cat, just a black.